Hello, Rama Rama Pupudu. Hope all are in good health, feeling great, wonderful, having a happy and peaceful life. Now, let's continue with the next part. You asked me to describe this true self to you. What can be said? It is that out of which the sense of the personal I arises, and into which it shall have to disappear. Disappear? I echo back. How can one lose the feeling of one's personality? The first and foremost of all thoughts, the primeval thought in the mind of every man is the thought I. It is only after the birth of this thought that any other thoughts can arise at all. It is only after the first personal pronoun, I, has arisen in the mind, that the second personal pronoun, you, can make its appearance. If you could mentally follow the I thread until it leads you back to its source, you would discover that just as it is the first thought to appear, so is it the last to disappear? This is a matter which can be experienced. You mean that it is perfectly possible to conduct such a mental investigation into oneself? Assuredly, it is possible to go inwards until the last thought I gradually vanishes. What is left, I query? Will a man then become quite unconscious, or will he become an idiot? Not so. On the contrary, he will attain the consciousness which is immortal, and he will become truly wise when he has awakened to his true self, which is the real nature of man. But surely the sense of I must also pertain to that, I persist. The sense of I pertains to the person, the body and brain, replies the Maharishi calmly. When a man knows his true self for the first time, something else arises from the depths of his being and takes possession of him. That something is behind the mind. It is infinite, divine, eternal. Some people call it the kingdom of heaven, others call it the soul, still others name it nirvana, and we Hindus call it liberation. You may give it what name you wish. When this happens, a man has not really lost himself, rather, he has found himself. As the last word falls from the interpreter's lips, there flashes across my mind those memorable words which were uttered by a wandering teacher in Galilee, words which have puzzled so many good persons. Whoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life shall preserve it. How strangely similar are the two sentences, yet the Indian sage has arrived at the thought in his own non-Christian way, through a psychological path which seems exceedingly difficult and appears unfamiliar. The Maharishi speaks again, his words breaking into my thoughts. Unless and until a man embarks upon this quest of the true self, doubt and uncertainty will follow his footsteps throughout life. The greatest kings and statesmen try to rule others when in their heart of hearts they know that they cannot rule themselves. Yet the greatest power is at the command of the man who has penetrated to his inmost depth. There are men of giant intellects who spend their lives gathering knowledge about many things. Ask these men if they have solved the mystery of man, if they have conquered themselves, and they will hang their heads in shame. What is the use of knowing about everything else when you do not yet know who you are? Men avoid this inquiry into the true self, but what else is there so worthy to be undertaken? That is such a difficult, a superhuman task, I comment. The sage gives an almost imperceptible shrug to his shoulders. The question of its possibility is a matter of one's own experience. The difficulty is less real than you think. For us, who are active, practical Westerners, such introspections, I begin doubtfully and leave my sentence trailing in mid-air. The Maharishi bends down to light a fresh joystick, which will replace one whose red sparks is dying out. The realization of truth is the same for both Indians and Europeans. Admittedly, the way to it may be harder for those who are engrossed in worldly life, but even then one can and must conquer. The current induced during meditation can be kept by her habit. By practicing to do so, then one can perform his work and activities in the very current itself. There will be no break. Let's continue in the next chapter. Thank you. Bye bye. Rama Rama Popodu.